OffBeat Sports Podcast presented by Celsius.
It's been a tale of two seasons for the Boston Celtics.
I probably aged about 10 years just from that series.
I'd probably compare myself to just a younger, smarter, more handsome, stronger Michael Jordan.
Let's go Celtics. Go Patriots.
These are guys who, when you give them a bowl of Cheerios in the morning, they finish every last drop of milk.
Absolute clown over here.
I'm ready when you are, baby.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast presented. Today we are continuing our new interview series called OffBeat University, where we interview Division I college athletes, both male and female, from many different sports to get the full perspective into the lives of our student athletes. Today we're joined by Maya Rogers, forward for the University of Miami's women's soccer team. Thanks for joining us today, Maya.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so since coming to the U.S. from Canada for college, have you noticed there's anything different, like in the U.S., like that you didn't really experience back home?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely a long ways away from home. I live in actually Vancouver, Canada, so it's the far west, and right now I'm in Miami, so a little bit different. There's a lot of differences. I was actually talking to my roommate about this recently. And I think the biggest difference I found is just like the magnitude around sports here. I mean, how big like football games are, or the supporters we have even at our games. I've never had fans that weren't like parents and siblings. And, so it's kind of amazing being able to go to these football games and have people at our games, seeing things like that. And, it's nothing like I've ever experienced. So I think that's probably the biggest difference I've noticed.
Yeah, we take sports a little too serious sometimes.
I don't take it too seriously. I like it for sure.
Oh yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So having offers from, as you attend Miami, during your recruitment college selection process, what stood out to you about UMiami that made you want to go there over other options?
Yeah. Actually, Miami was my first official visit. I had a couple other visits like booked for when I, came back or whatever. And then I got on campus. I met the coaching staff. I met, the nutritionist, the team, everyone. And I just fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the campus. And I just knew it was kind of like the place I needed to be for the next 4 years, like academically as well. They have an amazing business school, and that's what I'm going into. So it definitely felt like it was the right fit for me, and it was an automatic yes, and I committed right after. So it was perfect for me, and I've loved it ever since.
So growing up playing for your club teams in the Canada U15 and U17 national teams, you've probably traveled a lot for tournaments. So what were some of the coolest places and experience you've had on these trips?
Coolest places, I would say back when I was playing for Whitecaps FC in Vancouver, we traveled typically around like the West Coast areas, like California, Seattle, places like that. I think the coolest places I ever went with Whitecaps would probably be Zurich, Switzerland. We went there for the Blue Star tournament, and it was amazing. I mean, Switzerland's amazing. I was lucky enough to go to China for the Four Nations tournament with the U17 team. That was also amazing. I think those are probably my top two experiences and travel locations, I guess you could say, that I've ever been because of soccer. So yeah.
Yeah, I know some, like for basketball, at least for my club teams, like we only went to like other states, and it was really cool, and we had fun times. I can't even imagine going to like China or Switzerland for
I mean,
a tournament.
I did that too. I played in Bradenton, Florida, and places in the States, of course, as well, just for like a lot of tournaments and showcases, things like that. But I would say international trips always are a little cool.
Yeah, we get ourselves in trouble at these hotels in these other states. I mean, China getting ourselves in trouble, we'd be screwed.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, what are your expectations, both personally and for the team, to achieve this season?
I think expectations is kind of hard. I mean, you never really know what to expect with sports, but definitely our goals for the season are, to make an impact in the ACC, hopefully make the ACC tournament. I think it would be amazing. And we definitely, compete in our conference. And I think just, even making the NCAA tournament, I think that would be amazing for our team. I think personally, my goal is, to have an impact on the squad. I want to have the most goals or have the most assists. I'm a forward, so just making my team win would be amazing. I think that's what we're expecting from this year, just to make an impact in the ACC.
So there are obviously many components of being a part of the soccer team. So I know it's broad, but what would you say your favorite part of playing soccer for the University of Miami is?
I mean, obviously the location's amazing, but I would have to say that the team is my favorite thing. I got really, really lucky with the group of girls that I've been with. Yeah, like they've all become like my family and my best friends. So I think that that's my favorite thing about the group of girls we have. We compete so hard for each other, and yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I mean, living in Miami must not be too shabby, right?
No, it's not
That's
bad,
what I was gonna
but
Hard to complain about that.
yeah, that works as well.
So, attending a high-level D1 program like the University of Miami, talk to us a little bit about the balance of being a student and also juggling the athletics in there with it. It must be a challenge at a school like that.
Yeah, I think I mean I'm only a sophomore, so I'm still figuring out how to balance everything. I'm kind of a scattered person, I would say, so I think for me planning like my day ahead, what I'm going to do in the morning, what I'm going to do in the afternoon, making sure I get all my work done, and then I give myself time to go see my friends or just have some alone time, whatever I need. I think planning and creating some structure so you can get everything you need to get done is pretty important, because there's just too much on your timetable to not be planned out. So
Yeah.
you have to be quite organized, I would say, to juggle it all.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you're a fan of the game. You probably grew up watching all these professionals, especially like I mean, Canada and the US both have like great soccer programs. Are there any professional soccer players that you've looked up to while growing up?
I mean, growing up, obviously, I loved the Canadian national team, so I was a huge fan of people like Christine Sinclair, Jessie Fleming, Ashley Lawrence, players like that. I did typically watch like women's soccer. I'd say now some of my idols are like Wendy Renard, Sam Kerr, Megan Rapinoe, Rose Lavelle. I mean, I like a lot of American players too. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I think
we do kind of dominate that sport. I mean,
you've got a pretty
sorry,
good team.
I know you're Canadian, but like US still dominates that.
Yeah, no, you've got a pretty good team. So I'm definitely a fan of a lot of American, and I mean every country's players. That they've got a lot of good female players up and coming right now, and I think a lot of the players I look up to, I've been lucky enough to meet or get my shirt signed or stuff like that. So a lot of people have made a really big impact on my soccer journey.
Do you hope to play for the Canadian national team in the future?
Yeah, I think that's every Canadian girl's dream who plays soccer. I mean, it'd be amazing, and that's definitely something I'm going to continue to work towards. And I have teammates who are doing that right now, and so happy for them, and I hope to be with that squad again soon.
Yeah, so I mean that's just about all we got for you tonight. Thank you, Maya, for taking the time to do this with us. We appreciate it, and best of
you so
luck on
much.
the rest of the season. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at offbeat_sports and on YouTube. And make sure you're on the lookout for the next installation of the OffBeat University series. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
No problem.